My name is Kendrick Kennard. I'm a native Washingtonian, a student here at Howard University, and a short-time listener at WPFW. I've been listening, say, about 3 or 4 years now. And I can really appreciate the energy coming out of this room. But I wanted to ask you, specifically, you mentioned, first I want to share the concern with everyone else in the room that some of the things that have taken place have gone away from the community focus that I think WPFW has come to represent. The programming changes, number one. And number two, just the fact that we're looking at, caught up with numbers. I think that's in direct opposite of what the community is really looking for. Number two, you mentioned that you are looking at that you have to compete with different types of stations, and we have to move in a new direction. I'm wondering though, with the lack of diversity in media ownership, how are you going to compete with these stations yet maintain the community focus that we've come to expect from WPFW?
The answer to that question is something that I committed to and referred in my opening remarks, and that's community engagement, community outreach. Our requirement, frankly our ability, our determination to convene community. This is what we've done over the last 2 years. This station has had some of the most successful town hall meetings in its history, where we've convened community out in the community. Our intent, our determination, once we get to our new headquarters, is to be able to invite the community in. That's in part why we've been on a search for a location that would allow us to do that the location would provide accessible, public access to our facility.
We really gotta, thank you, but we're gonna stop with this gentleman with the yellow shirt because we can't go on all right. This gentleman with the yellow shirt is gonna be the last one. So everybody, please try to restrict it to a minute or so, but the gentleman in the yellow shirt, that's what we're gonna cut off.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Where's Ms. Reed? Sorry.
Stand up, please.
Okay, hi. I just wanted to direct it because I know you're interim ED director. I want to kind of talk about the mission of Pacifica PFW and the vision for the future. My name is Jabbar Zakia. I was on the Pacifica National Board from 2000 to 2003. I was the treasurer of the National Board from 2000 to 2003 from PFW. I was a representative from PFW on the National Board. I knew where the money was, I knew how much it was, I knew where it was going. Pacifica has always had these interim problems. We had a major lawsuit in 1999 which resulted in the restructuring of the whole Pacifica network and the whole governance board. That's why we had an interim board. I was one of the members on the interim board. We created a set of bylaws under which you all now are half operating under. Part of the issues that you're raising were raised at the time that the new board came on because we had never ever actually implemented the things that were supposed to be done from that struggle. And so what you're seeing is just residual consequences of not resolving these issues. One of the things I want to talk about is the mission. Pacifica put this station here beginning in 1968. When Dr. Martin Luther King was killed, the people in California, in Berkeley, where the first station was, instituted the process and Grigsby, who's here, can go through this much more detail than I was, because he was more integrally involved with it. They created the process to file for the FCC license for this frequency that you're now on. Okay, it was mentioned, UDC had a station that was given to it by Georgetown, and they got tricked into giving it away, which is now C-SPAN. Okay, so Pacifica took this, they started the process in 1968 to get the station on the air. It took them 9 years through the Nixon administration and the Ford administration who would not let this station go on the air. The reason this station was sought to be put here, because this station is the last station in the 5-family Pacifica network. It is the last one that has come into being in that time. It's been 35 years, and no other Pacifica station has come into the network formally. We have a lot of affiliates, but no formal stations under Pacifica management. Pacifica is a California chartered corporation, all right? So one of the issues that we have here is the fact that this station, which the license is owned by Pacifica in California, has, and all the stations have a lot of management issues because there has been not a consciousness and a vision on how to share the resources, the financial resources of the network. Ms. Reese, what is the budget for the total network this year?
On average, the whole network is between $12 and $14 million.
Okay, 12 and $14 million. Okay, so it's a $12 and $14 million totally. She's saying that out of all 5 stations, we generate $12 and $14 million of revenue, which is nothing, really. Okay, Pacifica, this station is the smallest station, and that's Houston has gotten smaller than this one. Now, one of the problems here is that all the other states, 3 of the stations either own their building outright or in the process. Houston was given a building. LA was basically given a building. KPFA is in the process of buying a building. They got a mortgage. New York and Washington do not own their buildings. New York was kicked out of there. They were flooded out. They're trying to find another place. This place is moved. It was on 8th Street, then it was here. Many people know where that is. When I was on the board, one of the first things I was trying to do was say, look, pay off the mortgage at KPFA, take New York, take that money, put New York in its own building, and put PFW in its own building. One of the other things that I was pushing for, when I was on the board, the national office was here. I got wrap it up. When I was on the board, in the same building, the national office of the Pacifica Network was downstairs in that office. There was a hullabaloo, and that national office was moved out of Washington back into KPFA. Okay, I personally, and some other people say, if you're going to be a national organization and you want to be serious, you got to have a national organization here. One of the other things that we were trying to do was create a national news bureau located in D.C. All right, because if you're going to deal with national news, if Russian TV can have their national news here and everybody else, we should. So one of the issues that I'm trying to raise is that issues with HD radio, digital radio, where you can do multicasting, where you can have simultaneous stations with languages different. AMU has done that. They took their bluegrass off of their terrestrial airline and put it on HD, so it's 24 hours. HUR has done that. They got now a digital component. What I'm trying to say here, the issue is never money. The issue is your vision of what you want to do. A tangible plan that people are held accountable to. Finding a building and moving a building is no problem. If people were serious, people would give money out of their kazoozos to get this place into a station. So what I am proposing, what I'm saying to you, Mr. Hughes, when you first came here 2 years ago, I personally talked to you in Busboys and Polo. I personally talked to you in Eatonville. I gave you my card. I said I could save you $1,000, $2,000 a month off your phone bill alone, because I heard a program say you spend $3,000 a month on phone bill. I said that's crazy. You can go to VOIP and don't have to spend $500 to get more than you get. Okay.